Good evening, friends. Welcome in next lecture of Math F113, Probability and Statistics. So I believe it is the second last class before the mid semester. So in last class, I have covered very important distribution of exponential family or gamma family, gamma distribution and standard gamma distribution. In continuous of that, now next is the exponential distribution. Exponential in exponential distribution is also the continuous distribution, means exponential variate is the continuous random variable, and it is very important from the application point of view. This is very important, means whole mathematics of weighting line depend over this distribution. So what is the exponential distribution? Exponential distribution is nothing, you can understand, it is the special case of the gamma distribution.
Sir,
Mean, yes,
sir, one small doubt that is this going to be a part of our mid-sem syllabus?
yes, yes.
Okay.
So in previous class, I have told you if the PDF for the gamma variate will be the 1 upon beta to power alpha, gamma of alpha, x to power alpha minus 1, e to power minus x upon beta for x greater than 0, alpha greater than 0, and beta greater than 0. So here, it is the gamma distribution with parameter alpha and beta. Now what I am saying that here exponential distribution is the special case of the gamma distribution by considering alpha is equal to 1. So if you put alpha is equal to 1, alpha is equal to 1, so this x will be the exponential distribution with parameter beta only. So here the PDF will become 1 upon beta to power 1, gamma of 1, x to power 1 minus 1, e to power minus x upon beta, x greater than 0 and beta greater than 0. Beta greater than 0. So this can be written as 1 upon beta e to power minus x upon beta, x greater than 0, beta greater than 0. So this is the PDF of the exponential variate. So 1 upon beta e to power minus x upon beta, x greater than 0, beta greater than 0, where this beta, or later on I will tell you what is the beta. So here this is the PDF for the exponential distribution, and for the other values of the x it is 0. Now if you put, means this you can say 0 for other value. Now if you put, let 1 upon beta is equal to lambda, so this fx can also be written as 1 upon beta is lambda, so this can also be written as lambda e to power minus e to power, just e to power minus lambda x greater than 0, lambda greater than 0, and it is 0 elsewhere. So this is the another form. It is the same thing, both are the same thing, but it is another form of the exponential variate. Now for the different values of lambda, we have the following shape of the PDF. Now, what is the CDF? CDF for the exponential variate. So CDF is what? You know that it is the probability x less than equal to x. We generally denote it by the fx. So, by what is the basic formula? It is the integral over x of the fx dx up to that point, right? So here we have the starting from the 0 because x greater than 0. So it will become 0 to x 1 upon lambda 1 upon beta e to power minus x upon beta into dx. So this will become 1 upon beta e to power x upon beta upon minus 1 upon beta and limit 0 to x 0 to x. So on putting, so here 1 upon beta is cancelled out. So on putting the upper limit, so we have the minus of e to power minus x upon beta, and for the lower limit it will become the 1. So it will become 1 minus e to power minus x upon beta for the x greater than 0. So here fx can be written as 1 minus e to power minus x upon beta for x greater than 0, and it is 0 elsewhere. It is 0 elsewhere. So I have told you, as we define, right, greater than equal to 0. So means PDF CDF is always non-decreasing function. So in this case, so this is the expression for the CDF of the exponential variate, and here you can see it is a non-decreasing function. So for the different values of the lambda, we have the shape of the CDF. Now, as I told you, exponential variate is nothing. It is a special case of the gamma distribution. So for the gamma distribution with parameter alpha beta, we know that mxt is what? 1 minus beta t to power minus alpha. What is the expectation? Alpha into beta. And what is your variance? Variance will be the alpha beta square. Since exponential distribution is a special case, so here we put the alpha is equal to 1 or beta, or exponential distribution with parameter beta. So just you put the alpha is equal to 1. So mxt, moment generating function, will become 1 upon 1 minus beta t. So if the derivation is asked in the exam, so as you have derived for the gamma distribution, in the same fashion you can repeat for the exponential distribution by taking alpha is equal to 1. Here I am not driving. So ex is equal to alpha is equal to 1. So it is only the beta, and variance of x will become the beta square. And one more notation I have used here, 1 upon beta is equal to lambda. So beta will become the 1 upon lambda. So when beta is equal to 1 upon lambda, so this in many books you will find it as a 1 upon lambda, and it is 1 upon lambda square, and this will become 1 upon 1 minus 1 upon lambda, or t upon lambda, or you can say it is the lambda upon lambda minus t, right? Lambda upon lambda minus t. Clear this part? So this is the formula, and here we have the t must be less than 1 upon beta. So here we have the t less than 1 upon beta, as well as t less than 1 upon lambda, or t less than lambda. So under this condition we have to determine, means this is the MGF for the exponential variate. Now, so here you can see this is the shape of the PDF and CDF. So at at the x is equal to ln2 upon lambda, we have 50-50% portion. Means this is the median. This is the median of the exponential variate, because it divide the area under exponential curve into 50-50%. So this is the median for the exponential variate. So this we have derived that moment generating function for the exponential variate and exponential variate. So here one important thing to note, that what is the ex? First, what is the x? X is what? I'm saying that x follow the exponential distribution with parameter beta. So here x is the time to occurrence, occurrence of first event, occurrence of the first event. Means here it is the time when the first event is occurring. It is the time when the first event is occurring. When the first event is occurring. When the first event is occurring. So this is the random time. So this random time follow the exponential distribution. So here the x represent time to occurrence of the first event. So here the events are occurring, right? Events are occurring. So the inter-occurrence time follow the exponential distribution. So when I'm saying that, very important thing, the ex we have derived here, ex is equal to beta. So what is the beta? If I'm saying that x is the time to occurrence of the first event, so what will be the ex? By definition, what will be the ex? Anyone? What the ex represent?
Mean time.
Mean time, correct. It is the mean time. So here the beta represent the mean time, right? Beta represent the mean time, and beta is equal to, we know that it is the 1 upon lambda. It means what will be the lambda? Lambda will be the mean rate, right? Lambda will be the mean rate. Means on an average 20 customers are coming in a shop. So on an average rate is the 20. Rate is 20. Lambda is equal to, if I'm saying that on an average 20 customers are coming in the shop for the service. So here lambda is equal to 20. So when lambda is equal to 20, it means beta is equal to 1 upon 20, that is the 60 upon 20. So here it will become 3. So on an average in 3 minutes, one customer is coming in the shop. If in 1 hour 20 customers are coming, so here it is the rate, and here it is the mean time. So mean time is reciprocal of the mean rate. So in this case, it is very important to understand what is the lambda, what is the beta. Beta is the mean time and lambda is the mean rate. So this we have already derived. So here you can see means in terms of the lambda also we can define the fx. So already I have defined. So fx is equal to lambda e to the power minus lambda x, right? Where lambda greater than or equal to 0. So this is the definition of the. So most important part here for the exponential distribution means in many engineering problem or science problem, you will find the application of the exponential variate. I will tell you for which property it is very useful. So I'm not going to derive, but you can derive the ex by definition also. So just what you have to do, you have to do the x into fx. So x into lambda e to the power minus lambda x. So that will give you 1 upon lambda. And similarly, you can compute the ex square. So ex square is what? It is the integral 0 to infinity x square into fx into dx. So it will come 1 upon lambda square, right? So after not 1 upon lambda square, something will come, means alpha plus 1 into beta square. So that will come, right? Alpha into alpha plus 1 into beta square. So it will, alpha is equal to 1. So it will come the 2 into beta square. 2 into beta square means 2 upon lambda square. So e of x square will come 2 upon lambda square. So when we solve, so you will get the variance of x as a 1 upon lambda square. So in last class, I have derived for the exponential for the gamma variate. So here I will not repeat the that that derivation, right, for deriving the mean and variance. So here we have the mean and variance. So important thing to just note that mu is what? Mean time. Lambda is what? Mean rate. So here again we have the different shape for the different values of the lambda, and this is the expression for the CDF. Now, this exponential distribution is frequently used as a model for the distribution of times between the occurrence of successive event. As I have told you, over the continuous time, events are occurring. Events are occurring, right? Events are occurring randomly. We do not know when any events are occurring. So the time of the occurrence, time of occurrence, time of occurrence, time of occurrence, time of occurrence follow the exponential distribution. So for example, customer arriving at a service facility, calls coming into a switchboard, data in the computer system, right? Means you request for the login in any mail service, email service. So anything, whatever presently we are we say where we have to wait, means exponents. Most important application of the exponential distribution is the waiting line problem. Wherever we have to wait, right? Where we have to make a queue, right? Where we have to wait in a queue, there we apply the exponential distribution. So waiting line problem, whether you have to wait for your turn in the service shop, in the mall, in the reservation, in the bank queue, at the ATM, in the computer, means in the computer data has to wait for the processing, right? For example, in the telephone mobile, you have to wait for your turn to make the voice call. So wherever we have to wait, right, there we use the exponential distribution. Yes, somebody is asking something, I think.
So this expected value is calculated because we assume that we are carrying out the experiment in finite or large amount of time, many times. That is the concept behind the expectation value, right? Means
yes,
expectation value doesn't exist, basically.
Means it is not necessary. That can be the observed value.
Okay.
But most simplest example is the when we roll a die. When we roll a die, our observation are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But its expected value is the 3.5. So this 3.5 never occur. In case of the continuous, it may occur. But in case of the discrete, most of the time, the means we cannot nullify that. We cannot deny that never it can happen. Expectation value can also be the observed value, right? But in many cases, it is not happening. It is not occurring.
Sir,
yes, please.
Yes, sir. I also had a doubt. Sir, you said that we use exponential distributions for whenever there are intervals between certain activities, like people entering or calls coming.
Yes.
In the last chapter, sir, there was also the Poisson process, which also had something similar.
Definitely. I am connecting that.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
I am connecting that. Okay. This proposition is same only.
Yes, sir.
I am connecting with that because you can recall this line. There also I have drawn this line. So there I have told you this occurrence of event follow the Poisson distribution. So now I have to connect these two. So suppose that the number of events occurring in any time interval of length t has Poisson distribution with parameter alpha t, where alpha is the rate of event. Means alpha is what? It is the mean rate. There also we have termed it as a mean rate. Mean rate of occurrence of event. Occurrence of event. Mean rate of occurrence of event. So when alpha is the mean rate of occurrence of event, so what will be the alpha t? Alpha t will give you the number of occurrences in time t. In time t, number of occurrences in time t. So here, if you take here, if alpha is the rate, so when we take the time time t, right? Any time, let's say t1. So this is the t1 plus t. Let's say t2. Here we have the t2 plus t. Means in any interval we can take. Let's say it is the t3. So here we have the t3 plus t. So in this, means in the interval of length t, the rate of occurrence will be the alpha into t, where alpha is the rate of occurrence in a unit time. So here, this occurrences follow the Poisson distribution. Poisson is what? A discrete distribution. So events are occurring discretely. So here, the rate of events process is expected number of events occurring in one unit of time, and the numbers of occurrence in non-overlapping interval are independent of one another. Then the distribution of the elapsed time between the occurrence of the two successive events is exponential with parameter lambda, where lambda is equal to alpha. So they are saying that they are saying here that if events are occurring, if events are occurring, right, with following the Poisson distribution, means let's say xt is the number of occurrences, number of occurrences in an interval, in an interval 0 to t, right? Let the xt denote number of occurrences in an interval 0 to t. So what is the nature of this random variable? It is a discrete random variable. Now I'm saying that it follow the Poisson distribution with parameter lambda. So now what is this proposition? That the interoccurrence time, the interoccurrence time, the interoccurrence time, the interoccurrence time, this interoccurrence time, this interoccurrence time, this interoccurrence time, this interoccurrence time follow the exponential distribution. So let's say y denote the interoccurrence time. Y denote the interoccurrence time, right? Y denote the interoccurrence time. So what is the nature of the interoccurrence time? It is the continuous random variable. Now we have to determine what is the y is equal to y, right? What is the f of y? Means we have to determine what is the f of y. Means we have to determine the PDF, or what is the f of y, that is the CDF. Then only you can say the distribution of the y. So if you compute, let y is less than equal to y. So if you have to compute, it is equal to 1 minus probability y greater than y. So what is the capital Y? What is the capital Y?
Time between successive occurrence.
Successive occurrence, right? For a moment, instead of the small y, if you take the t, then it's better, because earlier we have taken the t. So it is the y greater than t. So what is the meaning y greater than t? What is the meaning y greater than t? I'm saying that let this is the t. So what is the meaning of the y greater than t? What is the y? Again, think, what is the y? Time for the occurrence of the first event. Time for occurrence of the first event means, or you can say inter-occurrence time, or time time to occur of first event. First event. So when I'm saying that y is greater than t, what is the meaning? Means any event is happening after the time t. After the time t, it means it is the 1 minus probability there is no event, right? It means there is no event. If there is no event means 1 minus probability xt is equal to 0. Xt, what the xt denote? Number of events up to the time t. It means it will become the xt is equal to 0, and xt follow, it is given to you, xt follow the Poisson distribution with parameter alpha t. So when what is the probability of the xt is equal to 0? What is the general formula of the Poisson distribution?
E to the power
E to the
minus alpha t
alpha t to power x
on x factorial.
0 upon factorial x, right? So it will become e to power minus alpha t. So when we put here e to power minus alpha t, so e to power minus alpha t. So what is this? Or 1 minus e to power minus lambda t. So what is this? What is this? This is the CDF of exponential variate, right? This is the CDF of the exponential variate. So that's why we say the y follow exponential distribution with parameter lambda is equal to alpha. So here we have the relation between the Poisson distribution and the exponential distribution, right? Means if the events are occurring following the Poisson process, then occurrences of events follow the Poisson distribution and inter-occurrence follow the exponential distribution. So this derivation we have done. Then after, I have told you the most important part of the exponential distribution is this property, due to which we have so many applications. So another important application of the exponential distribution is to model the distribution of the component lifetime. Means in the reliability theory, in the machining system, in the manufacturing, in the production, where we have important reliability is the important concern, there we use the exponential distribution. So what is the most important property of the exponential distribution? That is here. A partial reason for the popularity of such application is the memoryless property of the exponential distribution. For example, you assume you are in the line. So you are in the line. So you have not to bother those who have taken the services. You have to bother only those who are there. Means what happened in the past, it is immaterial for you. Similarly, for the server who is giving you the service, whom he had given the service, that is not a matter. Now matter for him, right? That is not his concern. The main concern is how many customers are there in the system. Means the exponential distribution has the property known as the memoryless property, or it is also known as the Markovian property. To give the respect to Markov is one statistician, right? So it is also known as the Markovian property. So means in the memoryless, you have not to remember the past. For computing the probability, what is the current status, only on that you have to bother. So that is only the case of the exponential distribution. In other distribution, we have to consider the past events also. So suppose component lifetime is exponential distribution with parameter lambda. So suppose that x is what? It is the lifetime. It is the lifetime of component. Component means now I'm explaining the memoryless through the example of the reliability. So lifetime of the component. of the component, and it is given to you, it follow the exponential distribution with parameter lambda. So what is the meaning of the memoryless? So memoryless, after putting the component into service, means, for example, you have purchased the TV, right? So if it is working today, so it is immaterial when you have purchased. How many years it is old? So it is immaterial. If you have the TV and it is working properly today, so you never bother when you have purchased this. So never bother about the past of that TV. So that is the memoryless property. So in this case, if you want to determine probability of x greater than t plus t naught, given x already elapsed the t naught, what is the meaning? Let's say it is the t naught. You have put your component on the function, right? And already he has that component has elapsed the t naught time. Now let's say it is the t, or you can say t plus t naught. This time is the t plus t naught. So here we have the failure. Here we have the failure. Means x denote the time to failure. Here the x denote lifetime, right? Either you say it is the lifetime, or you can say time to failure. It is the time to failure. So means x greater than t plus t naught, given that x greater than t naught, means if the component has already elapsed the t naught time, what is the probability? What is the probability that component will fail after the t plus t naught? So what is the basic formula of the probability of A given B? Probability of A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B divided by the probability of B. So x greater than t plus t naught intersection x greater than t naught upon probability x greater than t naught, right? So what is the intersection point? Means I'm saying that x is, see on the figure, I'm saying that x greater than t naught intersection x greater than the t plus t naught. So what is the intersection? Intersection is this much. In the numerator we have to write the intersection. So it is the intersection will be the x greater than t plus t naught divided by the probability x greater than t naught. And what is given to you? X follow the exponential distribution with parameter lambda. It is given to you. So probability x greater than t naught. What is the meaning of this? Its meaning is 1 minus probability x less than equal to t plus t naught upon 1 minus probability x less than equal to t naught. And what is this? This is the 1 minus f of t plus t naught upon 1 minus f of t naught. And what is the formula of the CDF for the exponential variate? It is the 1 minus e to power minus lambda t. So t plus t naught. Just now we have derived, and 1 minus e to power minus lambda t naught. So 1 and 1 cancel out, 1 and 1 cancel out, minus and minus cancel out. So here we have the e to power minus lambda t, right? Here we have the e to power minus lambda t. And what is this? It is the 1 minus, or you can say probability x greater than t, right? It is the probability x greater than t. Why? Because it is equal to 1 minus, it is equal to 1 minus e to power minus lambda t. So it is what? 1 minus probability x less than equal to t, right? So it is the probability x greater than t. So that's why here we have written. It means probability of x greater than t plus t naught given t x greater than t naught. It is equal to, just now we have derived, it is equal to x greater than t. It means if time t naught has elapsed and it is the t plus t naught, what happened here, that is immaterial. Means this condition, given condition is immaterial. This x greater than t plus t naught depend only on the t, what the time elapsed, right? What here the time elapsed, what happened in the past, that is the immaterial. Only it depend only on the current time, that is the t. So that is very famous property of the exponential distribution. So there are only two distribution, in continuous only exponential, and in discrete only the geometric distribution follow this property. No other distribution follow the memoryless property. In case of the discrete distribution, geometric distribution follow this property, and in case of the continuous distribution, only exponential distribution follow this memoryless property. Memoryless property means the current event occurrence of the current event depend over only the current time, no matter what happened in the past, because we have only the this thing. So thus the distribution of additional lifetime is exactly the same as the original distribution of the lifetime. So at each point of time means the component shown no effect of the wear and tear. Means whatever the time elapsed, that is the immaterial. Means they on the component there is no effect of the age, there is no effect of the wear and tear, right? The component is as good as the new one. If it is working, we assume that it is as good as the new one. There is no effect of the age, there is no effect of the wear, if x follow the exponential distribution. If the lifetime of the component follow the exponential distribution, it means we say that the product is, until unless it is functioning, we say that it is as good as new one. There is no effect of the age. So let us do some example on the exponential distribution. Let x denote the distance that an animal moves from its birth site to the first territorial vacancy it encounters. Suppose that for the banner-tailed kangaroo rats, x has an exponential distribution with parameter lambda is equal to 0.01386. We have the reference. What is the probability that distance at most will be the 100 meter, at most 200 meter, between 100 to 200 meter? So here you can see distance is what? Again the continuous, not only the time, whatever the continuous thing, that you can explain with the help of the this exponential variate. So here in the first part it is given to you lambda is equal to 0.01386. so this is given to you as a mean rate. So what is the probability that distance is at most 100 meter? At most 100 meter means let x denote the distance. So x less than equal to 100. Let x denote the less than equal to 100. So what is the formula of the f100? F100 is what? Or you can say ft is what? It is the 1 minus e to power minus lambda t. So just lambda is given to you, t is given to you. So you can compute the required probability. So here we have the 1 minus e to power minus t into lambda. So here we have the required probability. Then at most 200 meter. So at most 200 meter means the same thing, x less than equal to 200. So 1 minus e to power minus 200 into this lambda. So it will give you 0.9375. And if the x between distance between the 100 to 200 meter, right? So it can be written as, if I have to compute the probability x between 100 to 200, so we generally we do for the f of 200 minus f of 100. That is the 1 minus e to power minus lambda into 200 and minus 1 minus e to power minus lambda into 100. Lambda into 100. So this will become e to power minus lambda into 100 minus e to power minus lambda into 200. So that's we have to compute. So lambda, whatever is given to you, just you use that and you will get the required probability. So this is your required probability. Then in the B part, what is the probability that distance exceed the mean distance by more than 2 standard deviation? Means x exceed the mean by 2 standard deviation. That we have to determine. Find the probability that the distance exceed the mean by 2 standard deviation. It means first we have to compute what is the mean and what is the standard deviation. So you know that mean is what? 1 upon lambda. So and standard deviation is what? Standard means variance is what? Variance of x. Variance of x is the 1 upon lambda square. So standard deviation of x will become the 1 upon lambda. So 1 upon lambda. So it will be the 0.7215. So x greater than mu plus 2 sigma. So 72.15 plus 2 into 72.15. So it will give you probability x greater than 216.45. So here we have the required probability. So in this way we can determine. Then after, in the last part, what is the value of the median distance? Median means 50% percentile. Median means 50% percentile. So here we say 0.5 must equal to the f of t. That is the 1 minus e to the power minus lambda t. So now you have to determine the what is the value of the t. Right here, in place of the t, here we have written the mu tilde. So 1 minus e to the power minus mu into lambda. So when you take the logarithm, so here you have the value mu is equal to 50. So this is the, in this way we can compute the median point also. Now next and last distribution is the chi-square distribution. Chi-square distribution is very important from the statistical point of view. Wherever we have to compare the two population for the inferencing from the data, means you will see in the latter part of the course the uses of the chi-square distribution. Means wherever we have to compare the two population, there we use the chi-square distribution. Means from the statistical point of view, it is very important. So here the chi-square distribution is important because it is the basis of number of the procedure in statistical inference. Means whatever we are studying, that we are making the base for the statistical inference. Means what we can make an inference from the data. So in that case, the chi-square distribution has a lot of application. The central role played by the chi-square distribution in inference spring from the relationship to the normal distribution. So this chi-square distribution has very close relation to the normal distribution, and normal distribution also we use in as a for the statistical purpose. So what is the chi-square distribution? So chi-square distribution is also a special case of the gamma distribution. Or this gamma distribution, chi-square distribution, exponential distribution, all belongs to either the gamma family or the exponential family. So let nu be the positive integer. Let nu be the positive integer. Then a random variable x is said to have, means this is the which type of the random variable? Continuous random variable, is said to have chi-squared distribution with parameter nu. If the PDF of the x is the gamma density, it is the gamma density with alpha is equal to gamma by 2 and beta is equal to 2. Means when I'm saying that it is a special case of the gamma distribution, so you know that fx is what? Fx is the 1 upon beta to power alpha, gamma of alpha, x to power alpha minus 1 and e to power minus x upon beta. So it it is the gamma distribution. From the gamma distribution, if you put alpha is equal to nu by 2 and beta is equal to 2, so it will become the chi square, chi squared distribution, right? It will become the chi-square distribution, and its notation is the this is the notation of the chi-square, right? This is the notation of the chi-square. So f of chi-square, instead of the x, now we use the chi-square. So 1 upon beta to power alpha means 2 to power nu by 2, right? Gamma of alpha means gamma of nu by 2, e to power or x to power alpha minus 1 means nu by 2 minus 1, and e to power minus x upon beta x by 2. So that is the PDF for the, right, PDF for the chi-square distribution, and this nu is known as the degree of freedom. This is known as the degree of freedom, right? In case of the chi-square distribution, generally we say the word parameter, right? Generally we use the word parameter, but in case of the chi-square distribution, this parameter we termed as a degree of freedom. So here we have the PDF for the chi-square distribution, right? And here the parameter is called the number of degree of freedom, right? And the symbol chi-square is often used in place of the chi-square. So generally we use this symbol only. So when I'm saying that it is a special case of the gamma distribution, right? And for the gamma distribution, what is the mxt? Mxt is the 1 minus alpha 1 minus beta t, 1 minus beta t power minus alpha, and e of x is what? It is the alpha beta, and v of x is what? Variance of x is the alpha beta square. So I'm saying that it is a special case. So chi-square distribution, we have alpha is equal to nu by 2 and beta is equal to 2, or you can say it chi-square with parameter nu. So mxt for the chi-square will become 1 minus 2t to power nu by 2, right? Just you put the same value, and ex will be the alpha is equal to what? Nu by 2 into 2, so it will become the nu, and variance of x will be the alpha beta square, so it is the nu by 2 into 2 square, that is the 2 nu. So here we have the, again here we will not derive explicitly for the chi-square distribution because it is a special case. So directly we use the formula whatever we have derived for the gamma distribution. So here what is the application of the chi-square? Extensively used in the applied statistics, provide the basis for making the inference about the variance of the population based on the sample. So when we start the sampling theory, means wherever we have to take the sample from the population, there we use the chi-square distribution. So for the different values of the k, or you can say nu, or sometimes gamma, we have the following shape of the chi-square distribution, right? This is the CDF of the chi-square distribution. Now when we are talking about the CDF, so CDF explicit expression or closed form expression for the CDF for the chi-square distribution is not you cannot derive. So here cannot be derived. So here we have the numerical value. So in case of the chi-square distribution, we have the special table. In other, you can see easily. So there is no explicit formula for the CDF of the chi-square distribution. Instead, the value are tabulated, right? So here we have the table of the chi-square distribution. So in this case, the probabilities are in all other table, whether the normal, binomial, Poisson, gamma, whatever the table you have seen, there we have the probability as a body, right? Probability we take as a body, and parameter we consider in the heading, either the column heading or the row heading. But in this case, in case of the gamma, the probabilities are given as a heading. Probabilities are given as a heading, and different values of gamma or nu, different values of the gamma or nu means degree of freedom are given as a row, and corresponding value of t, are given as a body. In this we have the little reverse way of representation, right, in any book. So in this case, the t is the body, t is given in your body, and this p is the heading, right? Here the p is given you as a heading, and this t is given to you as a body, and degree of freedom as a row heading. So here f occurs in the margin. Important in this table is the f occurs in the margin and corresponding value of random variable inside the table. So this notation I will explain in next class. So only the important thing here, right? So tomorrow will be the last class. So there tomorrow I will explain about the each and every distribution from discrete to continuous. What will be the situation? What should be the situation, right? Means for the particular distribution. So it is very important thing. So tomorrow I will summarize all the distribution after finishing the chi-square distribution. Any doubt from today's class? And one important thing, you have the feedback request from the EUGSD. Please fill the course feedback, right, on the EUGSD for the lecture 2. So that's all from my side for today. If you have any doubt, please ask.